Hey everybody, just want to share a quick little insight from my study General Conference. I was listening to the April 1931 General Conference, and Orson F. Whitney of the Quorum of the 12 Apostles was speaking, and he was speaking about the spiritual aspect of things, and specifically about the spiritual blessings and the aspect of the commandments. And he talks about how sometimes we want to talk about the temporal so much, and I think this is very common because we want to justify the commandments as being logical to our friends and to a secular world. We will cite the fact that, fast offerings is great because intermittent fasting is good and helps to take care of the poor, or tithing helps discipline your financial budgets, or the word of wisdom helps prevent addictions and cancer, or chastity prevents unplanned pregnancies and helps you avoid, all the drama that comes with that. But Orson F. Whitney talks about the fact that far more important than the temporal blessings of the commandments, and there are temporal blessings, is the spiritual aspect of the commandments and the spiritual blessings that they bring. He spent like half of his talk talking about tithing, but that this is designed to help us develop spiritual character. That each of these commandments is designed to help us become more celestial and ultimately to be able to return to the presence of our Father and to enjoy the life that He has. And I really like that because I think sometimes we lose track of that everything in the gospel is designed to help us become more like our Father in heaven. That is why we left His presence in the first place, was to become more like Him. Jesus is the how, but the why was becoming like God. The gospel of Jesus Christ is the plan of here's how you can become more like your Father in heaven. All those commandments, if we're keeping them only because we can see the temporal blessings, we're keeping them for the wrong reasons. If you only pay your tithing because you want the windows of heaven to be opened, that's better than not keeping the law of tithing. But it's not as good as if you desired to develop spiritual character, to develop Christ-like attributes, and to develop celestial character, most importantly. And I think that this is something that's super important. And it just reminds me of, there's a lot of talks by Marion G. Romney about welfare. And he talks about the fact that service is not something that we do to be able to go to the celestial kingdom. Service is the very fiber of a celestial life. And I think that that's how all the commandments work. All the commandments are designed to help us become like them. They're not just arbitrary. They're not just weird random rules. They're not just old men's opinions. These are carefully designed things to help us to put off the natural man and become a saint through the atonement of Christ the Lord, to become like our Father in heaven, to become celestial. So that way we are comfortable in the celestial kingdom and we are able to enjoy a celestial life, which is eternal life and exaltation. And so these commandments aren't meant to keep us out. They're meant to help us prepare to be welcomed in.